Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you another movie review. This time we're going to be talking about Cooties. Cooties is a 2014 horror comedy film. It was directed by Jonathan Milott and stars Elijah Wood and Rainn Wilson, among others. So this is a movie I've been kind of interested in seeing for a little while now. I remember seeing about a year or two ago just some kind of post about it or something, and it sort of seemed a little bit, enjoyable to me. I don't know, just the prospect of, kids running around as zombies and stuff like that, and then when one of my subscribers actually, told me about the movie again recently, it reminded me, oh yeah, I actually should definitely see this film. So went on Amazon, ordered it for a pretty low price, and let me tell you, it was well worth it because I really liked Cooties. I got the DVD copy right here. Excuse me. There you go. So yeah, very good movie. I liked it a lot, actually. I knew I'd like it well enough, but it's actually probably one of my favorite comedies, or at least horror comedies that I've seen in quite some time. My favorite horror comedy kind of film that I've seen is Zombieland, and that's one I still need to do a video on at some point. And I just did a video on Shaun of the Dead and stuff like that. I won't say I like this as much as Zombieland, but it's pretty close. And when I think of my favorite horror comedies, this is actually one of them now. So I'm very happy about that. The story is simple. Elijah Wood's character, he goes back to town he's somewhat familiar with as this substitute teacher, but meanwhile he's wanting to write stories and everything like that. Whereas even his mom doesn't really seem to be too supportive, or let's just say she's not doing very well at faking her enthusiasm for his work. And it's also kind of funny. There are a few notable cast members in this. Like I said, Elijah Wood, Rainn Wilson. Rainn Wilson kind of being my main interest in the movie, at least as far as that goes, because I really like The Office. I need to do a video on that sometime too, but he of course played Dwight Schrute on The Office, and it's funny here because Elijah Wood's mom is played by the actress who played Meredith on that show, so that's kind of fun. And you even have got the actor who played Badger from Breaking Bad showing up as a cop at one point in this movie, which is pretty funny. But anyway, he has these aspirations to be a writer, but he goes back to the school, as a sub, meets up with, turns out, his old crush is also, teacher there as well. And, of course, her boyfriend is, Wade, Rainn Wilson's character. And, he's not exactly like Dwight Schrute. He kind of tries to have, more of a almost southern, kind of accent type of thing going on. I don't know if it's southern or not, but he has a different type of accent. And then what's still funny about those, if you liked him as much on The Office as I did, is he's still kind of this character that's really, really full of himself. He's this kind of loudmouth, bully, kind of sleazy gym teacher type of character. So that was perfect for him to still sort of show that kind of Dwight energy in a way. It was kind of good. How they went for that, because they knew, what people would, know him for and everything like that. And then, mysteriously, it's summer school, too, so, that's one of the things about the movie that I should probably talk about. Of course, the kids do end up turning into these zombie type of things, and, teachers have to survive, the night or find, some kind of help somehow. I know this movie drew a lot of controversy simply of the fact that, the kids turn into zombies and the teachers, kill them and have to fight them off and stuff like that. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of sensitive people out there or groups that, think that's too much. I will admit at first when this virus or whatever it is initially breaking out, it was a little bit, a little uncomfortable for me to watch, just because kids were kind of attacking each other and killing each other and stuff like that. it's kind of weary for me at first too, but when the movie actually gets into it, you really don't think about them being kids anymore, because they're just like these ravenous little creatures. You got to remember that. And yeah, some people still say, oh, but they should have made it so emotional whenever they had to fight one of them instead of playing it off for laughs. But come on. I mean, I do think you kind of have to look at these things a little bit differently compared to how it would be in like a real life situation or something. So I do think some people are kind of too sensitive about this kind of stuff at the same time. And like any like uncomfortable feeling I might have had with it was easily overshadowed by how funny and how entertaining this movie ended up being. I had a damn good time with it, and it just sort of has this like kinetic energy throughout. Like as they're going back and forth with each other and how to make these plans and how to get out and everything like that. And there's sort of this love triangle between Elijah Wood's love interest, and Wade, Rainn Wilson's character. And there's a little bit of a development of that, because at first Rainn Wilson's character Wade, he's paranoid about Elijah Wood, and so there's some relationship drama with him and the girl, and it kind of drives a wedge between him and Elijah Wood's character in the movie. But eventually they sort of talk things out, and what was actually a pretty good scene, and they lock Elijah Wood in the closet, we're thinking he was infected and everything. They have a conversation later, and they sort of find a mutual respect for each other, which I thought was actually pretty good. Interestingly enough, Rainn Wilson's character was probably the one with the most development in the movie, which is good. I'm not really going to complain about that. And the origin of this virus was apparently in the chicken nuggets, or something, or at least I went through that. Because in the opening part of the movie, you see this girl, biting into it, and you see this like green stuff come out as she presses into it. So yeah, that's how it got started. You also had the guy from Lost, playing this crosswalk guard who was just getting high in his truck and watching it all commence, and not really sure if he's making out what he is. You also have this actor playing a character named Doug, and he's this like really weird, sort of creepy, socially awkward, science type of guy. He reminded me a lot of like if you guys watch Supernatural, the way Castiel is, Misha Collins is with some of his scenes where he doesn't fully understand how to act or how to say something, and he's just very like either blunt or he's just confused because he's not really used to speaking in a certain way or acting in a certain way. The guy who played Doug, his delivery sort of reminded me of that, so I found that really entertaining as well, because I like Supernatural and cast so much and everything. So he was good in it. I liked Rainn Wilson a lot. Like I said, he's kind of what I went for, and his character got a lot to do. Elijah Wood is good as well. Were there any weaknesses with the movie? Not really. I mean, I didn't really see anything wrong with it. Like when they get out of the school, though, it becomes a little less interesting for me. That's just because I kind of like the setting of them being trapped in the school and everything. But if they wanted the story to branch out at all, they kind of had to go out at some point. And I also like what they ended up doing with Rainn Wilson's character. After him and Elijah Wood are able to find some common ground. They do break out of school, they get into the lot. Wade ends up, holding off all the kids, football tackling them, throwing them around, but he can only hold on for so long until it appears like, he gets overwhelmed and, sort of just, but we never see any blood come up, but, they drive off without him, they end up in this, sort of empty kind of town. At first I was like, oh, they left the school is entertaining to me now, but then they get into this, like, fun, place, it's, I don't know what to call this, like, if you guys ever went to, like, McDonald's play place as a kid, if you guys had any of those, it's like this indoor, playground type of thing, I guess you could call it. I actually think that, location was pretty fun, too, but as the group is cornered there, we see, Wade and the janitor return and save him, so he survives, which I was really happy about. I was kind of wondering because they didn't show like any blood coming out when the kids were on top of him or anything, but still, I'm glad they kept his character alive, till the end. The janitor was also pretty funny. He had some very good, swords, like that, samurai skills. So that was good as well. It definitely leaves the door open for a sequel, but I don't think we're gonna get it at this point. It's been 3 years now. But I would have loved to see like another Cooties movie for sure. So yeah, there's a lot of little things about this movie I could talk about. I thought the effects are fine as far as the blood we did see goes. It was very funny. The characters do sort of have a good chemistry together, as they get caught up in all of this and as they're sort of arguing back and forth about what to do. And it's also kind of fun how the kids sort of like retain some of their, like habits or like the things they would do, like riding around in a tricycle as the adults are trying to sneak around in the school and everything. And also something I wanted to mention about like the children violence I talked about earlier. Like I said, it's a summer school, so there's a lot of bad kids here, or kids who, act out a lot, or, who, they make them really, really, really bratty. And when they first show them, it comes off a bit over the top, like, kids are bad, they can be a bit undesirable for sure. So I'm not, like, oblivious to that. But, certain lines of dialogue that they had at the beginning of the movie, it felt like it was a bit unlikely that they would constantly talk like that, even once at summer school. But as it went, it kind of got lesser with that, and I got the purpose. If these kids are shitty, we're not going to care as much when they do get turned and killed, right? And then there's 2 kids they do end up finding alive in the movie that are actually kind of nice, and so they did try to balance it out with that. But yeah, I overall just thought this movie was a really good time, and I'm definitely happy I checked it out. Thank you for recommending it to me. It's definitely one of my favorites of all time now. I still gotta talk about Zombieland. Zombieland's still probably my favorite, but this one's up there for sure. Some horror comedies kind of go a bit far where it's kind of cheesy and the jokes don't really land, but this one actually does. And a lot of it isn't just through it's a good cast with a good chemistry with the cast. I mean, but it's also just like this feel in the movie as well, and just the way like the pacing and everything I thought was fine too. And this movie isn't overly long either. I think it's about 1 hour and an hour and 28 minutes. So yeah, a very short movie by today's standards. So let me know what you guys thought about Cooties. If I had to rate it. You say I already made the picture, I did say I'd rate it like a B plus, but now I'm honestly thinking maybe like a B plus, A minus. I don't know if I should go as high as an A minus, but I think I'm at least giving it a B plus at this point. I really did enjoy it. I'm glad I watched it now. When I did, I'm glad I got to it in the stack. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.